Is it selfish to prioritize yourself? I don't want other people to view me as being inconsiderate or selfish. These are the things that I hear from so many of my clients and students with high functioning anxiety because they're often taught that it is selfish to take care of yourself and your needs. And that when you do so, you are often ignoring other needs or putting your needs in front of theirs. This perception further perpetuates the belief that your needs don't matter and that they aren't important. So let's dive into this topic so that you can learn how to prioritize yourself without being selfish. This is episode number 131, How to Prioritize Yourself Without Being Selfish. Welcome to Calmly Coping. My name is Tati Garcia, and I'm a licensed therapist and coach specializing in high functioning anxiety. I help high achievers let go of anxiety, stress, and overwhelm so they can feel calm, balanced, and confident from within. If this topic interests you, then please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can get notified every time I release a new episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. So the way that you think about yourself and your needs is reflected in the way that you treat yourself. And this works both ways. So when you can address both internalized beliefs and your behaviors when it comes to prioritizing yourself, then that is going to have an impact on your self-worth. And that is that feeling of being valuable, being good enough from within. First, let's talk about what it means to prioritize yourself. So it means putting yourself first, taking care of your needs first, filling up your cup first. This can look like practicing self-care. So those are those things that you're literally just caring for yourself. It can be things that allow you to feel like you're ready to take on the world, ready to help others, ready to show up as your quote unquote best self and putting your best foot forward. Prioritizing yourself just means that you are taking care of yourself and your needs. So, next question, is prioritizing yourself selfish? So, no, it's not inherently selfish. And the thing is that this is what really annoys me because I hear this so often that people think that prioritizing yourself, prioritizing your needs is selfish. It means that you're ignoring other people. It means that you are not taking care of other people's needs. You're ignoring your obligations, et cetera, all of associations that go along with that. I just finished reading a New York Times opinion article about like Instagram therapy. What's cited in this article is what I'm not talking about essentially. So it's like that extreme end of self-care and prioritizing yourself and just saying no to people because you feel like it, or when you focus on your personal needs by practicing self-care or cutting off toxic people, then that's not good because you're being completely selfish and you're entitled and whatever other negative associations can go along with it. This is what, to me, encompasses the lack of nuance that I so often see on the internet and on social media because it is not so all or nothing. You know, it's not that you practice self-care and you completely disregard other people's needs. And I think that there can be this dichotomous view of things that people think that it's either I prioritize myself or I prioritize the needs of others. And that this either or way of seeing things isn't reflective of reality. So it's not all or nothing. It's not prioritize yourself at the expense of others. It's not prioritize yourself and ignore others. So there is room for nuance in this conversation. There's room to see that you can prioritize yourself and you can be respectful of others and you can take care of others and you can acknowledge other people's needs and respect those needs. Now, you may not be able to do so 100% of the time because that's just impossible. But I think that it's important to see the conversation as being and, is including that and instead of but. You know, I need to take care of myself first, but this person's needs are more important, or seeing it as or. So I need to prioritize myself or take care of others. So seeing it as an and, seeing that I can take care of myself and I can take care of others. And if you're finding that you cannot, then maybe that means that things need to change or you need more support or something else needs to be adjusted. Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure that you, the person that I am talking to, the listener, is somebody who either struggles with anxiety or high functioning anxiety. So you're probably neglecting your needs at the expense of others, overworking, burning yourself out, and doing too much already. So the way out of this cycle is to bring your intention inwards. And caring yourself first is necessary. To say that prioritizing yourself first is selfish is the same thing as saying that eating is selfish. It just doesn't make logical sense. So we all need to eat in order to sustain our bodies, to sustain life. It's the same thing with sleep. We all need to sleep an adequate amount in order to sustain our health, our life, our brains, everything else. So saying that prioritizing yourself is selfish is adequate and akin to saying sleeping and eating are selfish. So hopefully I've cleared that up and gotten it out of the way that prioritizing yourself is not inherently selfish. That does not mean that there are not people out there who may kind of take this phrase of prioritizing yourself or may see this and then go in that direction of ignoring other people's needs. But just because you're prioritizing yourself first does not mean you're selfish. Just because you're taking care of yourself, it does not mean you're selfish. So now let's talk about how you do it. Before I get into that, I want to talk about my free course, How to Calm Your Mind So You Can Relax. So you can take this course. It's going to walk you through decluttering your mind so that you can calm it and so that you can set aside time for self-care, for breaks, all the things so that you can start relaxing. You can access this course by going to calmlycoping.com/relax. So now how to prioritize yourself without being selfish. I want you to actually reflect on what does it mean to be selfish? What does that mean to you? What do you imagine when you see that? Who do you think is judging you for being selfish? Is it an actual person? Or, many times it can just be this faceless group that we think people in general are going to judge us when there's not really an actual person or people that are going to judge us. And even if they do, you're probably not going to know about it. And even if you do, everybody has their opinions and judgments and you cannot control that. Who have you called selfish? So sometimes looking at your own judgments can give you some insight onto how you might be judging yourself. So oftentimes we can project our own personal judgments, the way we feel about ourselves, onto other people. So maybe you're projecting those perceptions, those attitudes, and those beliefs that you have onto other people. And so maybe you can reflect on that and see, oh, maybe I'm concerned or afraid that I'm actually like this, or I want to stay far away from that, so I'm judging these other people in this way. Bringing these enigmatic concepts to actual concrete thoughts, whether it's writing them down or thinking through them, can actually help you to have some clarity when it comes to what you're afraid of and what you might be avoiding when it comes to that association between taking care of yourself and prioritizing yourself and being perceived as selfish. So often we forget to do that, and it can be a great first step. So next, what I want you to do is to do one small thing for yourself today. Connect with self-compassion and ask yourself, what is it that I need? What is it that's going to help me feel more joyful? What is it that I can do to care for myself and my needs today? So it can be something small, like I said, and something that's going to allow you to feel nourished, that you're taking time for yourself, no matter how small. And another good question to reflect on this is, what's going to help me feel more ready for my day and to help others? And then bringing it together. So that question of what does it look like to care for myself and others? So it's not caring for myself or others or anything else, but bringing together that and what does that look like for you? So can you even care for others while caring for yourself at the same time? One way that I like to do this is through a practice that's called, I believe it's called breathing in self-compassion. It's the practice of just while you're even having a conversation, let's say if a conversation is challenging for you or challenging for the other person, you can breathe in self-compassion for yourself while you're listening to the other person and practice just imagining as though you're breathing in compassion for yourself and then breathing out compassion for the other person. And you can adjust how much you're breathing in and out for you or for the other person. If you feel like I need tons of compassion in this moment, maybe you're going to breathe in for the count of 5, compassion for myself. And then maybe you're not going to give any compassion to the other person because you're like, I just can't right now. Or maybe you're going to breathe out to the count of 5 to give the other person compassion. So it's just a visual exercise. But sometimes even bringing intentionality to that can help you so that you are even supporting yourself in the moment when you are supporting another person, because both are possible. And asking yourself, where am I overextending myself? Where am I ignoring my needs? Because this can give you some insight as to where you maybe need to start bringing more attention to yourself and prioritizing your needs more. So I hope that this was helpful. And I hope that I've ingrained that prioritizing yourself is not selfish. You're not selfish for wanting to care for yourself. We all need to. It's essential and it's important and it's a part of being human, because you cannot help others if you are not helping yourself first. I want you to share your thoughts about this episode in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube, and if you are in my free Calmly Coping community for high achievers with high functioning anxiety, you can share your thoughts there. If you're not, you can join us by going to calmlycoping.com/group. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think it's selfish to prioritize yourself? Why or why not? And while you wait for next week's episode, I have other episodes about decreasing anxiety, adopting a healthy mindset, and managing your time and energy. So make sure you check out these episodes here. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, be calm.